The nuns' secret. Where did they hide the sin so it would not be told? Not all were as pure as once believed. There is a lesser-known side to the lives of nuns. Welcome. Today, we'll journey through time, from the Middle Ages to the 19th century, uncovering the untold history of women who dedicated their lives to God. Or so it seemed. Were there really nuns who had secret encounters with men? Some say behind the thick monastery walls, things happened that would shatter the image of holiness. Whispers tell of creative ways some sisters found to satisfy private longings using everyday items in unexpected ways. But how much of it is true? Before we continue, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next chapters of this saga. Behind the closed doors of the Catholic Monastery of Sant'Ambrogio, shocking behaviors were hidden. Actions that defied sacred rules, all protected by silence to preserve the Church's image. Stay with us until the end, because what you're about to hear might change the way you see history. The convent was never a bed of roses. It was a path of discipline, sacrifice, and relentless work. To become a nun meant giving up comfort and personal desires. Chastity was the most sacred and severe vow. But what truly makes us reflect today is the strange and complex reality behind these female communities. The first traces of such convents date back to the 1st century, but it was in the Middle Ages that they multiplied. Who were these women? Some chose it freely, seeking peace. Others were sent there. Unmarried girls, rebellious daughters, women deemed difficult, were locked away in habits and silence. Inside, life followed a rigid rhythm. Days began at dawn with hours of prayer, followed by intense physical labor, 5 to 6 hours a day. They also studied, reading and writing, rare privileges for women of that era. But don't let the sacred chants fool you. Some sisters found ways to hide small personal belongings, breaking the rule of poverty. Others faced a deeper battle, the vow of chastity. Human longing doesn't vanish behind stone walls. Some nuns went as far as escaping convent life entirely, driven by fleeting encounters with men who wandered near sacred grounds. A glance, a whisper, and all it took was one opportunity. During public festivals or religious gatherings, some slipped into crowds and disappeared, forever abandoning the life of seclusion. But what about those who stayed? For them, secrecy became survival. In daylight, privacy was impossible. But by night, the rules softened, and some found ways to signal their desires. Here's the chilling part. Many female convents were located near male monasteries. It was not uncommon for monks and nuns to see each other from afar, exchanging glances and silent gestures. But how did they arrange secret meetings? They developed a signal, simple, discreet, and powerful. A candle lit by a cell window. A flickering flame that meant, "Tonight, come." And the chosen monk knew exactly what to do. He'd wait until no one was watching, then sneak toward the agreed place. No words spoken, no witnesses, just shadows and sin. It's curious to note that even in those moments of forbidden passion, certain rules were followed to the letter. The candle had to remain lit throughout the entire encounter, and both had to be completely unclothed. Strangely enough, this ritual echoed strict norms from as early as the year 1079, which forbade exclusive attachments among nuns, meant to prevent favoritism and emotional bonds within the convent. The sisters all slept together in large shared dormitories, no walls, no privacy, no distinction. But this was just one of many secrets locked behind monastery doors. Some convents became notorious over time. Their dark stories resisted the Church's efforts to bury them. One of the loudest scandals echoed from the Catholic Monastery of Sant'Ambrogio, a place that, in the 19th century, gained infamy for its deeply controversial practices. But how many truly know the chilling details of this Roman convent? For centuries, Sant'Ambrogio was shrouded in mystery. Its dark reputation circulated only in whispers. Only after deep investigations, buried within the secret archives of the Church, did light begin to shine on what really happened. Historical records and later testimonies revealed disturbing truths the institution had long worked to suppress. At the heart of it all stood one woman, Maria Luisa, the abbess. A stunningly beautiful woman with a fearsome presence, she wielded powerful psychological control over the other nuns. She completely rejected her vow of chastity and instead found pleasure in the arms of fellow sisters. Under her rule, the convent became something far removed from the purity it claimed to represent. When some of the nuns dared to question her behavior, Maria Luisa used a cunning tactic, claiming divine authority. She told them everything she did was part of God's will, and that she was spiritually superior. She demanded unconditional devotion, and got it. But her influence reached even further. According to church documents, she was also romantically involved with a priest from the nearby monastery, further strengthening her unchecked power. Still, not everyone remained silent. Some tried to expose the scandals of Sant'Ambrogio to the world, but every attempt to speak up ended in shadows. Those who dared to challenge Maria Luisa were met with harsh consequences. She would not allow anyone to threaten her throne, and the secrets of Sant'Ambrogio didn't stop at forbidden relationships. Historical records show a long list of questionable decisions made behind sacred walls. Eventually, the truth could no longer be buried. A formal investigation was launched. Both Maria Luisa and the implicated priest were found guilty by an ecclesiastical tribunal. Punishments followed, but the scandal shook the church to its core. To protect the institution's image, many details were buried once again, hidden from public view for decades. This story reveals a harsh truth. Life inside a convent was never as simple or holy as it seemed. The human need for affection, the longing for personal freedom, often clashed violently with the rigid rules imposed by religious life. And so, behind thick stone walls, many broke their vows quietly, in secret, far from the watchful eyes of heaven and the church.